Amanda Jones is a Lyft driver.
I started driving for Lyft because I couldn't do anything else.
But she's also a cancer survivor.
By the time I got in for the mammograms, I had a pretty good sized lump and 4 separate kinds of breast cancer.
Jones was diagnosed in April of 2017. She credits her dog and her husband for saving her life.
My dog had been grabbing at me and like at my chest. I didn't know what it was at the time, but 2 days later I found a lump.
When she told me about the lump, that she felt the lump, and then it was, because it was necessary that she get in immediately. 6
surgeries and 16 rounds of chemo later, she's doing more than walking. She's driving, contributing, and giving back. Lyft and Banner are teaming up to provide free rides up to $15 to mammograms during Breast Cancer Awareness Month.
And one of the things we can do is just help with the logistics of getting in and getting yourself your screening.
The hospital's philosophy is to make healthcare easier, so the rides are available throughout Maricopa County, Casa Grande, and Tucson.
Only about 65% of women in the state of Arizona get screenings, which is way lower than we'd like it to be. So we figured if we could make it easier for people to come in and get what it is they need, that would be a great thing to be able to do for our community.
I have taken people to get their mammogram. I have been able to share my story if they're interested.
Sharing her story is as much about saving lives as it is celebrating her own. Anita Roman, Fox 10 News.
All right, Anita, thanks so much for that story. Okay, any of you out there live in the Rust Belt, as it's called? Turns out people living in that area may hold the key to the midterm election outcomes. Let's find out how and why.
As the GOP and Democrats map out their final strategies ahead of the midterms, steelworkers, a key voting bloc President Trump targets,
the aluminum industry are vital to our national security.
Are divided on backing the current administration's agenda. Many, like Jeff Astel, the union president of local USW 9531 in western Pennsylvania, say the Trump-era steel industry is booming, and they're optimistic about the next steps.
Plants are doing well, thriving. We just signed a collective bargaining agreement for the next 5 years. That's, in my opinion, is probably the most, the best contract that we've had in 23 years.
While others like Henry Polite, a material handler at Universal Stainless, say workers just aren't seeing much of a benefit.
We'd like to see more concern of the underdog, more or less, than just the high-ups. And I think that would make the difference.
Earlier this summer, President Trump imposed a 25% tariff on all steel and aluminum imports, aimed at balancing the playing field with overseas competition while driving domestic demand back to U.S. producers. Yet union workers at 2 of the country's largest steel producers, U.S. Steel and ArcelorMittal, say despite company growth, wages are still low.
The presidential election, it was sold as, we're bringing the steel industry back to Western Pennsylvania, back to America. And in a sense, yes, production has increased, but we're talking about a president that spoke about trickle-down economics. Where did it benefit the workers? It hasn't.
If worker demands aren't met, then roughly 30,000 members may walk out, causing a disruption in production and an uncertainty at the polls.
Right now, what you're seeing among steel workers is a real sense of urgency that these promises of better conditions, more purchasing power, more health care, get fulfilled. And if they don't, they're going to go with the party of change.
As steelworker unions continue to negotiate contracts this week, Republicans hoping to maintain control of Congress must first avoid an industry strike in order to secure success in the upcoming midterm elections. In Pittsburgh, Talia Kirkland, Fox News.
All right, what do you all think about that? I've never been to Pennsylvania. I got to get out there really soon. Actually, I take that back because I told you all where I just went on my vacation. I connected in Philadelphia, but I don't really count that as being in Pennsylvania when you're only at the airport. I mean, I don't know. Anyway, Tracy Carrasco is here to get us all caught up with our business briefs, and that includes the news about major retailer Sears. I've got some fond memories growing up with Sears.
Struggling retailer Sears has filed for Chapter 11 bankruptcy protection. This comes as Sears faced a $134 million debt repayment. The company issued a statement saying it intends to stay in business, keep profitable stores open along with its e-commerce sites. Sears will close 142 stores by the end of this year, in addition to the 46 stores it had already planned to close for next month. Walmart reached a preliminary agreement to pay $65 million to settle a class action lawsuit from 100,000 California-based cashiers who accused the store of failing to provide seating during their shifts. The suit, filed in 2009, alleged that Walmart violated state law by not providing seats. Walmart said it wasn't a reasonable accommodation because cashiers' responsibilities often require movement, such as scanning and bagging items. For more, log on to foxbusiness.com. In New York, I'm Tracy Carrasco.
Oh, business news, retail news. Every time you show me like the inside of a store, I already think about the holiday season is coming and shops are going to get a little insane. Even if you just want to go get something simple like deodorant or something, you're going to have to prepare in advance to find a place for parking and deal with the crowds. It's coming, everybody, whether or not we want it to come. Okay, I like to end the top story segment on a happy note. This one happens to do with animal news. You know, mother hen, you hear about it all the time. This stray dog, which is local here in Arizona, taking care of 21 puppies. Not all of them are her own. Let's find out.
These puppies at the Arizona Animal Welfare League are happy, playful, and healthy. But the beginning of their lives was bleak. The stray puppies from 2 separate litters were taken in by a rural shelter in northern Arizona. Another stray dog, who also had puppies of her own, then took over motherly duties for all the puppies. 21 in total.
But she would get up every couple hours and move from litter to litter and keep them warm and feed them so that they were always safe and healthy.
The puppies are all doing well despite the tough circumstances.
It's extremely amazing. There's always a very tough situation where puppies aren't strong enough or moms are not producing enough milk, and sometimes all the puppies in the litter just don't make it.
But now these puppies are ready to find their forever homes after getting a new lease on life from a very loving adopted mother. Ty Brennan, Fox 10 News.
Way too cute, Ty. Thanks so much for that. Little puppy love to start the day and week. Taking a live look now at the Capitol, where it looks a little overcast in our nation's capital. Hope you are having a great day. If anything breaks, we will have you covered. Meanwhile, if you're here in Arizona and you happen to want to watch our newscast on Fox 10, our 12 o'clock show is going on now. All right. Again, if anything breaks, we'll have you covered. But you are watching News Now, part of fox10phoenix.com. New viewers, if you haven't already, please click that subscribe button. You can then sign up for notifications and be alerted anytime we go live with breaking news stories.